Let's get right at it, Danny. The Oregon Ducks, is there ever been a season that the Oregon Ducks have had more pressure on them than this? It feels a lot to me.
Probably not in the modern era.
No, yeah, I'm talking modern era.
Yeah,
like
the last 15 years, BCS era, yeah.
Yeah, let's say post Chip Kelly.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, and this is me, I don't know, being on the other side of it. It's like, they don't have any excuses.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't have any excuses.
It's true. It's the big one, and it's funny to think like where the pressure lies if you could pinpoint it in one spot. And I don't think you can pinpoint it. And I think that actually might be the plus going in if you're the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah.
Lanning's got some pressure on him. Dante's got some pressure on him. New coordinators have pressure on them. The returning defensive starters have pressure on them. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, but because it's spread around everywhere on the squad, it's almost like if one guy struggles, another guy can pick up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to highlight a potential weakness, it's at the linebacker core.
Sure.
But
maybe the offensive line a little bit.
Your secondary, you've got two preseason All-Americans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got a guy who's going to be a first-round draft pick on your defensive line. Mateo's probably going to be,
day 2,
second,
day 3.
maybe third-day pick in the NFL. Like, Finney and Coy are both monsters in the back end. Like, it's on the defensive side of the ball, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then, maybe you start pointing at fingers at coordinators. But on the defensive side of the ball, that's where they feel like the coordinator position is good. Bartu was talking about how, like, hey, no, he's a guy. Like, they think he's going to make sense. Dante would have probably been the second quarterback off the board last year on the offensive side. Yes, you lose a freak tight end, but you're replacing him with a freak tight end. Your wide receiver core, Evan Stewart's back. DeCorian Moore's healthy. Your offensive line is still there. Like, there's Davison getting dinged up is certainly not something you want coming into camp, but you've got depth there too. Like, so it's like everywhere you look, you've got what you're supposed to have. There's not they're breaking in a new quarterback. It's like, no, it's like everybody's there. So if you're not going out there, and your schedule is a joke to start. I mean, Boise State's a good team.
Boise State number 1 in the top 10 G-spot poll.
But I mean,
Sharon.
Oklahoma State and Portland State. I mean, your guys, you're probably not playing past the third quarter against Oklahoma State.
No. Are you playing even through the half against Portland State?
I would doubt it. But look, I think Mestemaker is going to be better at Oklahoma State. They're going to be better than they were last year, but they were horrid.
They were maybe the worst team in Power 4.
I mean, they were god awful. So are they going to be better? Are they going to pose more of a threat? Yes. Should Oregon absolutely just waffle stomp them? Yes. And then obviously you get the early test in LA. Mm-hmm. And that will be the measuring stick for Oregon and for my team, to see where teams are at.
A funny thing about this Oregon squad going into, I think just kind of sums up college football in such a nutshell in this sense that it is so hard to get everything perfect at the same time, okay? Because Oregon, Dan Lanning is an up-and-coming top-tier coach, if not already,
he's a top 5 coach in the country.
Yeah, that second tier of in the top tier of coaches that haven't won a natty. Dan's definitely there.
Yes.
So you've got a great up-and-coming coach. You have a potential Heisman Trophy winner and a number 1 overall pick in Dante Moore. You have all these returners back on defense, but breaking in new coordinators. It's not like Will Stein and Tosh Lupoy both came back this year. You know what I mean? Like, it takes special situations to really win a national championship. And this is probably the closest Oregon has ever been, because even when you go back into the Joey days, the Chip Kelly days, there were always some warts in some place.
With Chip, it was the lack of size in both offensive and defensive lines.
And everywhere. And not just that, but like size in quarterbacks too. And they were always athletes, but not quarterbacks, so to say. And that changed over the years. But you're right. Looking at the schedule, they're going to be favored in every single game they play until they get to Columbus in November. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of these are going to be close. I bet you they're a close favorite against SC on the road. They'll be a 6.5 point favorite against Michigan at home, if not more. We'll see how that game plays out.
They'll be favored by more than Michigan.
And that's if Michigan
imploded.
Right. All the hard games they get at home, sans USC and Ohio State. But you're right, the schedule does break their way this year. There's no Indiana. Now, that'll be the question. And this is kind of what's come around with Dan Lanning over the years is UW all of a sudden, whoa, Kalen DeBoer's got something going on at UW, can't beat him. Mm-hmm. Whoa, Signetti's got something going on at Indiana, can't beat him. So we'll see if there's that bugaboo this year. If Oregon goes on the road to Ohio State on November 7th and loses a close game, is anybody going to really throw their arms up in the air? Ohio State did that 2 years ago and then won a natty.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the real test, is how this team responds when they struggle, how this team responds when they blow out from week to week, what bye weeks look like. It's semifinal or bust for me for this team. I think if they don't make a college football playoff semifinal, and dare I say not get blown out in that semifinal, that's the floor for me for this team.
That's been the, to squint and be like, where's the Dan Lanning issue? It's like, and I'm not even counting the Georgia game in his first head coach. Like they just got smashed, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, he's not had some moments in big games. Obviously, the Kalen DeBoer UW games are there, but it's the Ohio State game in the playoff. It's the Indiana game in the playoff. It's when the lights have shown the brightest, and I've said this to you off air, and I've used a little bit more colorful language, but they've got something in them that they need to exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And until they do that, it's the Red Sox or the Cubs. Like, it is a legitimate curse. This is a program that for 20 years, when the lights have shown brightest, they have Clemsoned or Couged it harder than anyone, no matter what the era. And they've been really good. Mm-hmm. But there's just been that one thing where they just blow their foot off.
And the good news, though, because you're not wrong, the good news is for the Oregon Ducks going into this season is they win games they're supposed to.
Yes.
Dan never has clunkers.
Nope.
You look at Mario at Miami, they have clunkers.
Oh, you want to talk about just swallowing a shotgun? Mario invented that in the modern era. It's
yeah.
Like, why are you losing that game?
Look, Ryan Day has like 6 total losses in his career, something stupid like that. But some of them are against a bad Michigan team. Mm-hmm. He had a Michigan problem for a while. Dan doesn't lose those games.
No.
And the way the schedule breaks this year, he's going to be favored in every game except for Ohio State. Yep. And
to be totally clear, rightfully so.
And the nice thing, too, that I think that the Ducks have going for them is I feel like, despite them being the number 1 team in the nation right now, and Bill Connolly's SP+, we love the SP+ on this show, has Ohio State number 1 defense, number 2 offense, and Oregon is number 1 defense, reverse it. And so they are true number 1 and 2. I have more questions about Ohio State than I do Oregon. Oregon, to me, is just execution.
Well, I mean, Ohio State, they did what they've done the last couple of years, which just pump a bunch of guys in the NFL.
Without a doubt. And they still have the best player in college football in Jeremiah Smith.
Mm-hmm. And Sayin.
I have more questions about Julian Sayin than I do Dante Moore. Again, I think for the Ducks this year, it just comes down to execution. Yeah. Can you get it done when you need it done?
Can your coordinators carry on with what they've been doing?
Mm-hmm. And you
particularly on the offensive side.
And you got to avoid the Penn State trap of last year where you gutted out a whiteout win on the road, but then Penn State turned out to be not very good. Mm-hmm. So then you start to question, was that a test? Sure, on the road in the Big Ten in a night game and in an environment like that, that's a huge test. You made the test, but was that really a test in hindsight? In hindsight's 2020. But
I love how the further we get from this, the more you're moving to it.
Well, I just think look, if I represent the average person that's not a Duck fan,
but you're a Duck fan,
I'm a little clenched for a Duck fan this year because the expectations are so big.
The bar's high.
Because the floor is high.
Yeah.
Like, the bare minimum is really, really high for
the bare minimum is a playoff win. Absolute bare minimum.
Oh, I think it's 2.
Oh, and I'm saying,
yeah.
Bare,
absolute bare.
Like, if you go in and I shouldn't say that because they'll probably get a first seed and beating whatever group of 6 team that you beat. Like,
hey, be easy on the G spot.
I'm just saying, but like I'm talking. You need to beat a real team
without a doubt
in the college football playoff.
Couldn't agree more. And with that, let's bring in our guy Tyson Alger of the I-5 corridor. Look out, Eugene Springfield. We'll take a quick break, bring him in, and we'll chat about this Oregon Duck program and what he sees leading up to a huge year. But first, there's Casey with sports.